Previously on JavaLavaCraft. After an unsuccessful trip below the surface, we decided to try our luck above ground by filling in our very first map and seeing what we could find. This resulted in the death of many cows, pigs, sheep, and chicken. But just when we thought it was going to be all eggs and pork chops, we actually discovered our very first emeralds. And those were located in our very first village that we have ever found in JavaLavaCraft. And there are a lot of villagers here, and it's going to be exciting. But the excitement doesn't stop there. We've found some new friends. Threw an egg at a chicken, discovered a second village, found this strange thing in the forest, and finally we came upon a jungle biome. Then, at the end of the episode, we reveled in the glory of all of our success. But that was last episode, and today is a brand new day in the JavaLavaCraft world. Alrighty guys, welcome back to another episode of JavaLavaCraft, and as you can see, we are in full iron armor, so we got some stuff to talk about. We have made some changes in our base again, as you can see behind me, and they're looking pretty cool. This over here is an infinite water source, and I actually have a little secret about that infinite water source, so if you stay tuned in, you'll find out what exactly that secret is. And it's probably my favorite thing that we did while we were off camera, because obviously we did a little bit of stuff off camera. So let's talk about that. So let's look into our resource barrel. As you can see, we have redeemed ourselves. 13 diamonds, so that's looking really cool. And over here, we have our very first diamond pickaxe, and we have actually used the entire pickaxe. We have made 2 diamond pickaxes and gone through both of them. And we have also made 2 diamond shovels. One's here, and the other one we will get to in just a minute. But interesting little fact for you guys, we have actually just surpassed our most used item. And our most used item used to be our iron pickaxe at a strong 2300, but it has been surpassed with the diamond pickaxe at 2800. This is a function I really like, and this is new to me because we weren't offered this on the Bedrock edition, and I do like numbers, and I definitely like seeing some crazy numbers. So like 3,000 stone blocks, that's pretty solid. I didn't think acacia would be our highest wood starting this world, but obviously it has invaded our base. And speaking of that, we have some more acacia features to show you. But first, I am going to show you guys just the little improvements we've made in our little base. Yep, we're definitely going to be hanging out here for a little while. I know in episode 1 we said we weren't going to be here for very long, but I'm kind of liking the way it's coming together. The ceiling's still a little low, and I don't know if we're going to fix that, but we'll see in the future. So some of the stuff we got from our villages in the last episode, some workstations here. Currently the blacksmithing table doesn't do anything, but we did get this, which we won't be using for a few episodes. However, we do have this thing, and it's fun because you can name different items in the anvil. Additionally, you can repair items. Obviously, it's an anvil. And we're just going to call this guy not a diamond pickaxe. So that cost us 1 level to rename it. We could also put this right here, and it would cost us 2 levels to repair it a little bit. So why not? Awesome, so that's how anvils work. If we find some enchanted books, which I don't think we have any of yet, we could also put that here and add enchantments. In some cases, you can also combine enchantments on weapons, and that is pretty much all of the uses for the anvil. If you want to know how to actually name all of your name tags, this is where you're going to do it, at least in the Bedrock edition, so hopefully I'm not giving you misinformation, but we're learning as we go in the Java edition. JavaLavaCraft, that's what we do here. Speaking of little bit of tips and tricks. Um, so in episode 2, and we haven't talked about this yet, well, episode 2 was tragic. It was a terrible start, and obviously episode 1 was epic and fun and exploring a new world, and then episode 2 we die and lose everything that we've collected, and pretty pretty not fun. On one hand, I believe that we have made up for it. We have collected obviously a full set of iron. Our resources are looking pretty good, and we have more iron than we started off with. That's all good, but we want to make sure that we learn from our mistakes. And so to do so, I have actually made a little reminder for us. So over here, we have started our very first book. This is actually going to be called A Tale of Misfortune and Misery. This is going to be our death tracker, and I'm super excited to use it, and a little embarrassed to tell you how much I've used it already. So just to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes twice, we're going to record all of our deaths this season, or in this series. We'll see about seasons. But in this series, we will be tracking all of our deaths. So if you'd like to know what happened in the first couple episodes, you can go ahead and pause the screen and read those. However, we're going to be going over this death right here. This actually is our most recent death and just happened last night. I was actually sleeping, and then a creeper blew up, and that's what I woke up to. So very, very terrifying. You want to make sure that you don't fall asleep while you're playing, and just in case we forget some of the tips and tricks that we've learned while tracking our deaths, we're actually going to come over here and write all of our tips out. So tip number 1, sleep regularly in real life and don't fall asleep near creepers in real life and in Minecraft, because that could be messy. So this is going to be our beginner's guide to JavaLavaCraft. Tips and tricks learned along the way, plans for fun and interesting projects, and maybe much more. We might get rid of that maybe, but it just depends on how this book progresses. This is going to be volume 1, so I'd really like to keep this going, and especially when we die, we want to make sure that we write down any tips or tricks or things we could have done differently, so that in the future we can stay alive. That would be nice. Also, we have some master plans here, just some fun stuff. I hope you like that idea, and I look forward to filling these books out in the future. But that's enough about books. We are here to play some Minecraft, and we got a lot to do, so I got to roll out these changes pretty quickly. You can see our beautiful map that we made here last episode. Pretty glorious. It was a great episode. It was a great way to kind of have an upbeat day after our terrible experience down there. Whew. All right, so you can see over here is our very first automation of the world. It's just some pressure plates on our ugly orange doors, and you can just walk right through them. And same thing on the way back. All you got to do for this is just put some pressure plates in front of doors. Pretty simple. There are definitely better versions of automatic doors, because sometimes if you only walk over one, you can kind of get stuck. But I've been having some pretty good luck. And now time to move on to the outside, because obviously some things have changed. No more will our sugarcane litter the landscape, thanks to our fully manual sugarcane farm. Nothing crazy, but I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. We get exactly 4 stacks of sugarcane every harvest. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That was my very first attempt at a little bit of, just showing off the base and using the cinematic mode, which is really cool. I enjoy that. It's great for recordings. I guess we'll see how it turns out. However, let's talk about some things we didn't show off. This is my very favorite part. This is our secret outhouse. So we put an outhouse right here on the top, right under the land marker. However, I don't think that we're going to keep that land marker there. We might put something taller here. Definitely going to bring these walls up as well, which we're going to get to today. And one last thing, there is a secret here, as it is called the secret outhouse. And if you just walk right through into the little outhouse, it drops you through the drain, I guess. Kind of gross, but it's pretty fun, and it puts you directly back into the base. I know it's not that far, but it is our very first trap, or I guess secret entrance in the JavaLavaCraft world. So don't tell anyone. So if you guys remember us talking about fishing in the last episode, we still plan to do so. We didn't end up doing it off camera. We got a little carried away with the build. We got this nice little path over here, and anyways, we got a little distracted. So we're gonna actually end up fishing probably at the end of the episode today. But you know what's a great idea when you're fishing, especially when you're not AFK fishing, because we did discuss that being a little bit cheap and overpowered for early game farms. I'm just not a fan. I don't judge you if you use them. Go ahead, but they're not for me, not in the JavaLavaCraft world. So it was a great idea to go and explore our map in the last episode, because now we are prepared with all sorts of different kinds of crops. Obviously, we are missing a few things, but we'll get there. We are going to start farming all of these items today. There's a few, tricks to farming, but it's pretty much straightforward and easy. And so now we have to decide where we want to grow this stuff. We got a little wheat farm here with some pumpkins, but I'm not really digging that. We're not quite into the automated farming yet. We're not quite to that stage. So we're just going to make some standard farms. And I think the spot we're going to be doing them is right over here, at least for most of them. I don't think it really makes sense to grow crops on the sand. However, I do think that the sugarcane is okay over here, and I also think that maybe we could put the bamboo and the cactus in this area as well. Maybe even, nope, we're going to keep those up here. So everything else is going to be grown up here, which is why we built up this little wall. And we're actually going to be finishing this wall and making sure the area is nice and bright before we get to farming. And I don't know if you guys like this design. This is kind of what I came up with. It's a little flat. I think we might go taller. We might make a few adjustments after we put this initial design up, but I kind of like it. It's our first time using just regular bark, so it's a little bit more expensive. We're gonna have to farm some acacia to do this build, but I like the way it looks. I mean, I think we're gonna get sick of acacia pretty quickly. But it's grown on me, and this is the first time I've really used it. It's our #1 most used wood so far, so I think we're going to keep that trend up and build up this wall with those acacia blocks and see how it looks. So I guess we should get started. So I was looking around for my boat because we need to go over there and get some wood, and it takes forever to swim. But I couldn't find it anywhere. I was looking forever, and then I realized it was right here the whole time. I walked right past it like 3 times. I don't know how. I guess it just blends in with the sand. I mean, yeah, look at that. That was a poor choice for a boat. We might just make an acacia boat because it's bright orange. Too much acacia. The beautiful savanna biome. Acacia trees galore, mountain ranges in the back, and even nice little features like our pillager outpost. Just gorgeous. But unfortunately today we are going to have to deforest it. So sorry, savanna biome. Alright, in the middle of harvesting our savanna biome, we actually ran into our very first pillager, and these guys were a major nuisance in the Bedrock edition. They don't seem to be doing a ton of damage to me. Whoa, lots of arrows. However, I don't know how they operate in the Java edition, so we're going to have to learn that a little bit. It looked like he was pretty easy to kill. I mean, I wasn't really attacking him that much because I wanted to show him off, but he did get me a couple times. So, wow. Yeah, look at that. And welcome back to our savanna biome. As you can see, it has a lot less trees now. Pretty cool looking biome. You know what? It's really not that cool looking without all the trees. There's a bunch left on the mountains, obviously. We didn't want to ruin those completely. However, we have completely gotten rid of all the trees in this area. I actually have some ideas for this little plains area. I mean, it looks like a plains now, but it is a savanna biome. It's a stripped savanna biome. You can only find these in JavaLavaCraft, so exclusive content right here. So after that little session, we now have enough wood for our project today, but you know what? We say that and then we run out of wood. So what we're going to do is actually plant all of the saplings that we collected, and honestly we didn't get that many saplings. My inventory is very messy at the moment. That chest is full as well, so we're going to throw down this chest right here and put all of the acacia logs that we just got. And this is how many we got from chopping down this entire area. I'm surprised. I thought it would be a lot more. There's a lot left over by the outpost as well. We ran into some problems with those pillagers. It turns out that they are a lot stronger in groups. However, we have not died, and we've survived several creeper explosions trying to get a cool sunset screenshot for the thumbnail, honestly. We're going to plant all of these acacia trees really close to the shore. I know they are supposed to be more spread out in a savanna biome, but you know what? This is a case of functionality, and honestly it's going to help us replant this savanna biome at some point, because these are going to end up dropping saplings, and we won't have to run vast distances to collect them, so that's going to be a little bit more convenient. And we're going to end up using a lot more acacia. I know it's kind of an ugly building block, honestly, in its plank form, also in its, other forms, but I think the bark looks pretty cool. That's about it. But you know what? The shape of the trees is really something, Look at that. Real cool. Yeah, we got a plan for them to make them look even better. So that was my little PSA on the respect acacia trees deserve. But yeah, stick around for the next couple episodes and we might actually be making them even cooler. Alright guys, so the goal for today is to kind of finish renovating this area up here. You can see that we have built a wall almost all the way around it, but it's just the outline. It's just the outline of a wall, so we're going to fill that in today. Now that we have enough acacia wood from our little harvest over there, we are going to fill this in and hopefully have a nice little spot for all of our crops. So for this design today, we are going to start by putting in the acacia logs and then putting in the fence posts. And we're probably just going to scatter. Well, we already got some lights around. We'll see how much it lights up when it gets to the night. But, yep, we're going to start with these full acacia logs and then fill in the fences. And hopefully it turns out pretty cool looking. So it is time to start building. So guys, after finishing up that wall and feeling pretty good about it, we're realizing that this project is going to take a lot longer than one episode. So we are gonna actually wait until next episode to start planting all of our crops and making it look really nice up there. Yep, there's gonna be a part 2. But I appreciate you guys watching, and if you liked this episode, hit that like button. If you're excited to see how our farming district turns out in next episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button because it's gonna come out very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night.